am back for number 2 video on how to make this Lavender Bumblebee journal. I hope you're able to join me. I wanted to just kind of go over the papers that I did last time we filmed and show you the results of what happened, and then kind of go over what I'm going to do next and start maybe the cover if we have enough time to do all that. But I'm probably going to be adding some stamps. I've got some stamps set aside here to the backs of these. Yeah, I used 2 different types of paper when I printed these out. I used regular copy paper, and I also used some of the photo paper that is for my specific machine. When you use the photo paper, you tend to get a better print. And when you do the backs of these on the photo paper, it tends to seem not go through the papers quite as much or make the front image bleed as much. So some of these have bled more than others, depending on what kind of paper they were printed on. But I'm still going to use them because I don't mind that look. If you do mind that look, then I would suggest that you just print out your papers and call it good, and maybe do some stamps on them if you want to add anything to the back of the pages, or print out the lined paper like this on the backs. So, okay, enough of that. I'm just going to go over how these turned out and go over what my thought process is for this journal. So here is the back of this one. And I actually like that the front image came through on the back a little bit from the tea stain getting on it. A lot of these, the stamps didn't really turn out too good. But I still got the tea stain on it, and I like that. This one bled quite a bit to the front, and then the front bled to the back, so, but I still, again, I will use that, and I do like the way these stamps turned out better. This one, again, the back of it kind of bled to the front, but I will be using these, and I'll show you how this just adds to the texture of the paper and the background of the paper, because you're going to be putting other things and elements on top of all this anyways. So to me, I like it. I don't mind it having bled through a little bit and looking a little smudged. It just kind of gives it that watercolor look. Here's this one on the back. Have a tea dye. These ones turned out pretty good with the stamping. There's that one, the front. This one came through a little to the front. And then there's the back. I actually like the way the tea turned out on this one. It really showed up well on that. I don't know if you guys can tell through the video or not, but it really, the tea color really came through on that. And here's this one, again, the back. This one. This one. And I'm going to go ahead and these ones, after I did them, I thought I really didn't need to, because I'm probably going to, since I printed these out on paper and not cardstock, I'm probably going to just have to glue them onto some kind of cardstock surface so that they will be hard. But regardless, I would glue them onto something because they're just thin paper. But anyways, this is the way the back turned out. And same thing with these. I'm not going to be using the backs of them. So So I really didn't need to coffee dye them, but it did grunge up the front a little bit, so I don't really mind that. Same with that. Some of my best prints got on the ones I'm probably not going to use the back on. This one didn't bleed through hardly at all. And this is, I believe, photo paper. That turned out very smudgy. There's this one. I actually like the way that turned out. Queen bee. I like that, the way that one turned out. There's this one. And this one. This one has lined paper on both sides. This one has bumblebees on one side and lined paper on the other. Bumblebees. That's how the back looks. I don't want to take too long to go through all these. We won't have time to do anything. Another queen bee one. That was the photo paper, so it did turn out a little bit better on that. And then this one. So, now that we've gone through all of those, I'm just going to set them aside for a minute and show you the other papers that I'm going to probably add to my journal. I got these ones out of a book that my husband bought me of just different types of papers for my birthday. I bought it at well, my husband bought it for me at Barnes & Noble. It's called For the Love of Paper. But there's a lot of different types of papers in that book, and I just pulled some out that I thought would go well with a bee-themed journal. Some graph paper, just some regular plain writing paper. Those are both the same. Some ombre set paper in green, and then some flowers. I like these flowers because they're a little purple and gold, and those are the colors that we're going for. So, all right, and then I have been wanting to use this for a while, but I wanted to wait and use it for something that I really loved, and I thought it went well with the lavender colors that's going to be in our bee journal. So it's a Stamperia.com 12 by 12 paper, and it has different things. These are just the ones I chose for this journal. I can maybe make tags out of these, or pockets, or whatever I decide to make out of them. I might use part of it for the cover. I've got those ones, and then these really pretty flowers. And they're all double-sided, so one side's purple, the other side's flowers. This one, I just love the handwriting on it. And the lavender, that's not lavender, I forgot what these are called. My mom, I think, not a butterfly bush, but like a lavender bush, I think. But anyways, my mom used to have these in our yard all the time, and I love this whole image here. And then this is just writing on the back. And then there's these. I thought these would be good to make journaling cards out of. This is from a different pad. It's from one of my Bow Bunny pads, I believe. I just picked out a few brighter colors to go into the journal. This one I thought would go well because it has the purple, pinkish purple roses, and then the golden background. So we can make that work, I think. And this has the honeybee, the honeycomb stuff on the side, the print, and I like the colors of it. And then this one I thought was really pretty too. And it has little sunshines on it, but it's the right colors. So, that's that. And then this is some tissue paper that I have had stashed away for a while. I believe I may have gotten it at Tuesday morning, but I bought it when I saw it. I knew that someday I would make a bee journal, and when I saw this, I thought this is perfect. I'm going to get that because I know I'll use it. So I pulled it out because I'm going to use it on the cover of the journal along with this. I made this a while ago. I laser cut it with my Cricut machine, and then I colored it using embossing powder and and an embossing pen. So I just colored it in with an clear embossing pen, and then used the colors that I wanted of embossing powder on top of it. And then after I colored and embossed it, I put the top on and attached them together. And this is what I got from it. The wings are, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the wings I made lavender, and I'm probably just going to put it on the front of the journal as the centerpiece. I did think about putting this fairy on the front. I might make this like a little tuck spot on the front and then put the fairy in there also, because she's got lavender in her hands. And I just thought she was really cute. When I use this for my journal cover, it will probably look lavender by the time I'm done. I'm going to decoupage it onto this cover underneath. So I'm going to be using, it's just a meat lasagna box that I reinforced the spine already. And I cut it out, and it's going to be the journal cover. So that's what we are going to learn to do together, make this into a journal and using all the elements. But I'm going to be painting this purple, or lavender, before I put the tissue paper on the front of it. We'll see how far we get today. But first, before I do all of that, I am going to take some of these papers and I'm going to add some stamping on some of them. Like that one, I think I'll add a little bit of stamping. I like this one, so I don't think I'm going to do anything to that. I might add a few stamps to that. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one, I think I might add something to. That one's okay. Might add something to that one. That one's alright. Might add a little to that. And just to that because it's so smeary. I'm not going to add any more to these. This one, I think I'll add something. This one too. And this one. That one. Even though that doesn't have a lot of stamping or anything on it, I think it looks grungy enough, and it has the bees on it already, so I'm going to leave that alone. That one's good. Same with that one. Might add a little bit to that. That one I'll leave alone. Add a little to that. And I might add a little bit to this one too. So those are the papers that I'm going to either add stenciling or stamping to, or both. But before I do that, I want to show you the tags. I worked on these off camera, but I just fussy cut them out. They're included in my kit. You saw some of the papers that I had those on. but I already had these on different cardstock, and some I didn't have on cardstock, so I added cardstock to the backs of them. And then I have this little punch here to add these enforcers for the holes. So I just used my hole punch, punched holes in them after I cut them out, and then I glued the enforcers on the front and back. And then I had a little bit bigger enforcers that I have a die cut for that I used also. So you can use any enforcers if you want to. You don't have to. I just thought it looked better and more clean cut that way. So I went ahead and did all of those, and I added stuff to the back of each of them. These ones were on cardstock, so I didn't add anything to the back. I will probably maybe decorate the backs later. It just depends on what I use them for. These ones I have not put the enforcers on yet. And these are all the words. I'll just cut them out as I use them in the journal rather than cutting them all out now. But some of them, I'll read them to you. They say, be calm, be positive, be inspiring, be mine, just be, busy bee, cute as a bee, be a friend, behave, beyond, be helpful, be joyful, and be loving. Oh, and then this one says, be kind, be humble, be happy, be you, be wild, be sweet, let it be, believe, be creative, be amazing, be yourself, be wise, and be funny. So these are all in the kit to go on your journaling pages as you journal. So, okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. I think on this one, I might just use my little bee stamp. And where is my... And I have this little block to put it on, so I'll just go ahead and set it on the block like this. There's lines on the block that you can kind of line it up with. Make sure I'm putting it on right. And for this part, instead of using water-based inks, I'm going to use permanent inks. And I think I'm going to try this purple for this page. Wow, that one's really thick. That is thick. Let me try. I think I'm going to probably... Oh, well. That ink is like really thick. I was surprised. Okay. So I'm just adding some bumblebees around this. And, you know, you guys don't have to do any of this. I'm just doing this to add more interest to my pages. And more color also. Okay, I think that one's good. We'll go to the next one. And I will add a few bumblebees randomly on this one. I'm just going to use the ink that's on here already, and then maybe this ink pad is really saturated. Okay, so I'll come back to these maybe and add more stuff later. I think this one I might go ahead and wipe this off first before I change ink pads. I'm just using a baby wipe in case you didn't know what I'm using here to wipe this off, but I'm just getting as much ink as I can off. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't want it mixing in my other ink pad when I stamp it down. So I'm going to use, I think, my vintage photo. This is archival ink, so it's not waterproof, or it is waterproof, I'm sorry. It's waterproof and it's archival, so, and it's acid free, so it's good for using in journals. All right, and we use this one. Add a few bees. Then maybe I'll do some light bees to just use it up. So that's good for that one. And I'll do a few more bees on this one. I'm not getting too close to the corners because I'm probably going to cut these down a little bit to fit in the journal. So I'm trying to stay a little bit away from those corners. I think that's all I'll do on this one. That's not all the stamping I'm going to do on these. I'm just adding some stamping to each one, and then I'm probably going to go over them again with some more stamps or some stencils. I really like this vintage photo one. It's blending well with the tea dye stain. Some ghost prints. Okay, with this one, I think maybe I'll switch to my black archival ink. And it's also acid-free, waterproof, Distress Ranger. You can find those usually at Michael's or Joann's or online. I believe I bought mine online. Okay. Okay, this one. Maybe instead of the bee print on this one, I'm going to try the purple again. And whew, this stuff's falling down over here. I don't have it on a very secure surface. Okay, I think I'm going to try the block one that we did the first day with this ink. Oh, that turns out pretty good. I think I'll leave that like that. Well, maybe one on the middle, just a little ghost print on them in between. Okay. This I'll do the same. Some ghost prints. Okay. Maybe I'll try a different print on this one. I'm wondering if I could, well, I'll just do this. Maybe just put it along the bottom, printed. Maybe, yeah, maybe around the top too. Alright, I think that's pretty. I like it. This one. Do some more of that. Because I thought that looked pretty around the top like that. It's kind of dainty leaves. There's that. And then this one, I will do just some random ones. I'll do them all over. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off. With the baby wipe. You know, as I'm wiping this, I'm thinking, this doesn't say, but I'm not sure that this one is permanent. I'm thinking it might be water-based, because it's also wiping off this stamp fairly easy, which tells me it's probably water-based. A lot of people like to save their baby wipes and use them in collage later on. They're ones that they use to wipe color on. So far, I saved a few, but I don't use them very often. So I've started to just get rid of them as I use them, because otherwise I have too much junk that I'm saving all the time that I don't need. So okay, so I'm going to go through all of these one more time and decide if I'm going to add anything else to them. I think I have this Tim Holtz stencil that I got with my Bumblebee stamp. I think I want to maybe use that. It's like a honeycomb, and then there's also this with my Distress inks. I think I might use it a little. Just getting some brushes that I can use with it. Okay, there we go. These brushes you can get on Amazon. That's where I got them. They're fairly inexpensive. You can also find them at Michael's, similar ones. They're all pretty much the same, so that's why I went for the cheaper ones. Okay, because it's like you're getting the same thing no matter what. These ones I think I'm going to leave alone because I like the way they look now. I think I might add a little bit to this one. I think I'll add a little bit of honeycomb with some wild honey. Just very lightly. I don't want it to be like overpowering anything. A little bit on there. And then maybe a little on here. And then maybe a little up here. See how that just adds a little bit of interest to the page. And it will be like this when it's in the journal folded. So, and on this side, I think I'm going to leave it. So, put that one aside. I need more room on my desk. Alright, let me see. this one, I think I want to maybe also add some of the honeycomb, maybe on this side here. I believe I bought this stencil on Amazon. So you guys can find it there, or there's quite a few sites online that carry these, and I believe, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure I saw them at Joann's the other day when I went to Joann's too. Joann's carries a lot of Tim Holtz. So I just found that out the other day. So if you want any Tim Holtz products, that's somewhere where you can find them, is at Joann's. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Let's go to this one. Maybe with this one I will add just, I think I might add some, use my Distress Oxide and just add a little bit of stamping. Hold on, I'll be right back. My cat's in here and I didn't know when he wants out, so maybe he needs to go. Come here, Sodi. Come on. Go on. Go, go. Okay, I let him out. He's not trapped anymore. So this one, I'm just going to add a little bit of Distress Oxide stamping so it matches the other color that's already on here. Okay, that looks good. And we have this one. I think this one I will use maybe Vintage Photo. And I think I'll add some decorative leaves. I'm surprised at how light these prints are coming out with this, the Distress Oxide. I kind of like it, actually. It's much more subtle than I thought it would be. Okay, that's good for that one. And I think I'll do the same thing on this. Maybe I'll switch it over to the leaves because it looks like that's kind of more this leaf print here. Just to blend things to make them more cohesive. If you wanted to add more of the watercolor look, you could always spritz the page a little bit after you stamp it, or spritz your stamp and then get it wet, or and then stamp with it, I mean. Okay, I think that one's good. And this one, I think on this one I want to add some of the honeycomb. But, yeah. I think it needs a little more something. Do it a little bit darker on this one. Maybe up here. And maybe some right here. Maybe I'll even get a little of that in there. See how that looks. It's really subtle. So, and maybe a little right here. I really like that. That looks cute. Maybe I'll do some with my ground espresso. A little bit of honeycombs with the ground espresso too. Maybe I'll overlap it a little bit just to have that transition look going on. Ooh, pretty. I think I'll do that up here too. So I'm just going over the pattern a little bit so that they kind of blend together and blend out. That looks really pretty. Okay, do that over here a little. And I think I will do some over here. Okay. I really like that. Look at how pretty that looks. Okay. Keep wanting to put them on the wrong pile. This one, I think I will use my ground espresso and stamp some of these leaves. And then I think maybe, let's just try using a little purple with the honeycomb. See how that looks. So I'm going to use my Villainous Potion and just lightly put some purple honeycombs on here. Lighter in some spots than others. That looks pretty. Maybe some up here. Get some of that lavender purple in here. Maybe a little bit right here. But you see how as you build everything up, it just starts looking really good. That's why you don't go, oh, that's no good now because I messed up. No, it is good. You just have to keep adding things until you like it, until it is what you want it to be. So I'm going to add some more of this yellow in with the purple here, if I can get this lined up. I'm trying to get, oh, maybe I have it turned the wrong way. There we go. I'm going to blend it with the purple a little bit. And just so that it just goes over that a little bit. And I'll put some over here. Just a little bit. Blend those colors. And maybe a little bit up here. Maybe put it up a little higher. There you go. I really like that. That looks pretty. Okay. And we have this one. I think maybe I'm going to try using these grunge marks a little, see how they look. Just mostly look like dots on the page. Alright, so I think we also need maybe some ground espresso. Let's put it on around this bumblebee really good this time. And then maybe some up here, this corner. And okay, I'm going to use some more of the yellow blend. Okay, that one's good. This one I think needs some more brown. So we're going to use the ground espresso and the stencil on this one. I'm going to do some of this more in the center because I just feel like this paper is too white. And then I'll do some up in the corners as well. Maybe some up here. Maybe some over here. Just going for it with this one. Because I feel like this one just needs more color. Okay. Maybe I'll add some yellow. This one is called Wild Honey. I don't know if you can still get it or not, but that's what the name of it is. This Distress Oxide. If you don't have the Distress Oxide, you could use paint or watercolors or whatever it is you do have. Okay, I think I'll call that good. I still have quite a few papers, so I think I'm going to end it there because I don't want to make this video too long, and I will finish these off screen, but I'll go over these real quick, what we did today to make these pages look a little better and ready for our journal. So we did that one, and this one, and this one. That. And these ones I already liked the way they were. So I hope you guys had a good time. I will finish the rest of these off of camera, and then next time I see you, we will go ahead and start the cover, the book cover. So I hope to see you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Until tomorrow, or actually till next week. Bye.